Welcome to the Needs Languages channel. I'm glad you're here today. If you haven't yet, please do click the subscribe button. This channel is dedicated to personality and everything that comes with it. And a lot of times there is a lot of spirituality that comes with personality because we are spiritual beings. So you may be wondering, so our topic this week is going to be on healing from religion. And you may be wondering, what does healing from religion have to do with personality? Well, it has to do with community. And when we're personality, we're in community. Some people, while they were growing up, were forced into religion. Religion is confusing. Religion sometimes is about control, but not always. It can be. Religion is about being the Borg, belonging to a collective without a community say. If you remember the Borg from Star Trek, where people were assimilated into a collective and they had no say. I remember when a family member was caught in a religious snare. I was talking to the pastor who said, "Describe love." I said, "Well, God's love." And if you look into the Bible, you can actually find a scripture that says God is love. He told me I was wrong. And yet he was preaching from the Bible. And that Bible that he was preaching from says that God is love. This is where things often can get twisted. It is where people feel they have to be so right. You have to be so wrong. That is why it can look like it's controlling. This is what religion can bring: delusion. Religion is often based on what the leader believes it ought to be. Religion is scary because it isn't about what that particular book says. It is about what the people believe that particular book says, according to the leader. And if you disagree with them, comes confusion and shame. Sometimes they'll even berate you. This is where having a collective mindset without the balance of individualism gets scary. In the Old Testament of the Bible, God would often bring people who were called seers. They would see things to help prevent or stop harm, but only if they were listened to. And seers were your spiritual people. They were the people who would see things in the spiritual realm. So they're very important because that's where that spirituality comes in. In our world today, we have people with special gifts that can feel or see things, and we need to listen to them and not ignore the warning signs. Religion oftentimes will say they can say a lot of times those people are witches, or they're doing things in the occult, and and that's not true a lot of times. Religion keeps us trapped and our eyes blinded, our ears closed. Religion tickles superiority and submission that causes harm or even trauma. I've found that many people have felt the snares of religion. So what can people do to release these snares? Well, one way that I believe is vital is to, now, I don't want to say pray about it, because that is one thing that they'll say. They'll say, you pray about it. But to pray or send energy to oneself or to others or caught. So that's a little different. Another thing is asking, send that energy out of giving eyes to see, ears to hear, a heart to receive the truth, and remove the veil from people's, veils block us from seeing, and remove anything that plugs my ears. I mean, those are things that you can you can pray. The other thing you can do that's super important is get yourself, I would really highly recommend finding books around this, finding what the actual original lie is that it attached to, and then walking away from that. That is super, super important. And so these are things that are vital to help you really navigate that, and then get into healthy groups that can talk about this, but also be wise and aware, and not paranoid. But I would highly suggest seeking counselors. So Again, this is just religion is different than spirituality. Spirituality is allowing you to flourish in your belief, and there can be religion and spirituality. But usually in spirituality, there is just spirituality itself. There is no religion, but it can be brought in. So I'm just kind of giving some ways to kind of look at this and look at we need to look and question our leaders, and our leaders need to be able to allow that questioning to come in. Everyone needs to be questioned. If you can't be questioned, and then when truth is shown and or what you're asking for is shown, you need to not argue about it. And that's where it's like, okay, let me take a step back. Let me review this. Because what religion says is, no, 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 this is what I say. And you're like, well, wait a second. No, no, no. That's what you asked me. I gave you the answer. And you're saying it's the opposite. Religion is what causes confusion. And I think that's really what I'm saying here is that religiousness causes confusion. It causes dictatorship. It causes conformity. And then we need to figure out a way to get out of that and heal from the trauma of that. So and currently I'm working on a dark personalities book. And if you'd like more information on that, I do talk a little bit about that in this book. I'm in the process of editing it and rewriting it right now because it's a pretty heavy duty book. If you'd like more information, you can always reach out on the Needs language. And on that note, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.